Hey, Shutter Squad. Welcome back to The One Behind the Lens. I'm your host, Kate DeCoste, photographer, confidence curator, and apparently your unofficial marketing cheerleader today. So go ahead and grab your coffee, maybe a planner, maybe, your emotional support iced latte, because, friend, July is sneaking up on us. And if you are currently marketing looks a bit like good intentions, random posting, and vibes, you are not alone. I think so many photographers and business owners hit summer and suddenly we are juggling vacations, clients, family, editing, life, sunscreen, and trying to remember if we already posted this week. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, marketing starts to feel heavy. Like one more thing, one more tab open in our brains. And I don't want that for you. So today we are doing something a little different. Today we are building your July marketing plan together. Not a perfect marketing plan, not a color coded Pinterest perfect plan, a real plan. Something simple, something sustainable, and something that reminds you that marketing does not have to steal your joy. So let's just get into it. Can we have a little real talk first? I think marketing feels harder right now than it did a few years ago. I feel it. Not because we are like bad at it, but because we are overwhelmed by it. There are so many platforms, so many opinions, so many experts, more rules. One person tells you to post 3 times a day, someone else says only reels matter. Then another person says email is king. And suddenly we are standing in the middle of Instagram like, I literally don't know what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. And honestly, it does not matter if you're in your first year of business or your 10th year of business. We are all still learning. Things are changing constantly for social media. What we need to do, what is grabbing our clients' attention today and not worrying about what was, grabbing their attention yesterday. I've owned my business for years and I still invest in education constantly. I watch YouTube videos, I buy courses. Right now, I'm literally in the middle of watching a course from some amazing photographers and taking notes like a student again. Because the second we think we know everything, that's usually when we stop growing. And I think sometimes newer business owners assume that people who have been doing this longer magically have it all figured out. And we don't. We are still learning too. We're still adjusting. We're still trying new things. And honestly, I think that's healthy. Having support with marketing, learning new things, staying inspired, that's not just for beginners, that's for everyone. And summer, especially, can make marketing feel heavier because life gets busy. I don't know for, all of you that are listening, but for a lot of photographers, this is the busy season. You could be in your senior season, your wedding season, and then you could also be in like vacation, like maybe you're traveling for the summer. And suddenly, marketing becomes the thing we try to do with whatever energy is left over. And spoiler alert, usually there's not much left over. Am I right? That's part of why I started simplifying this for myself in the first place. So, before we even talk strategy today, I want to remind you you do not need a perfect July. You need a visible July. There's a difference, and visibility does not require burnout. So I want to make this really easy. When I'm thinking about marketing, I try not to overcomplicate it. I think in three buckets. That's it. Three. If you get these three buckets working together, your content starts to feel more intentional. And okay, now let's get practical. If you have a notebook, this is your moment. And hey, if you're listening while driving or editing or walking the dog, don't panic. I've got your back. I'll make sure some of these ideas are waiting for you in the show notes. And of course, you can always replay. So, bucket one is visibility content. Visibility content is exactly what it sounds like. It's keeping you top of mind. This is your behind the scenes, your day in the life, your process, your workspace, your business in motion. People love seeing how things happen. Sometimes we forget that, and like what feels ordinary to us is actually fascinating to someone else. And for photographers, this could look like location scouting, editing clips, gear setup, lighting before and after, packing your bag, your session prep, client wardrobe pulls, your coffee fueled editing life. You can also do a car if you did a session on location, you could do like a like a recap, like right before you leave the location or while you're driving. Just be safe when you're driving. Look, keep watching the road. For other business owners, other than photographers, this is kind of the same idea. You show your process, show your world. People connect with emotion. So, really, anyone with a business can do this. Like, if you want to show, before and afters of something, or, just behind the scenes of what you are doing in your daily life, it doesn't have to be perfect. And July is such a good month for this because summer naturally feels more relaxed and personal. I was just walking Gizmo earlier today and I was looking, walking by the pool and saw a couple of people just sitting, and it's a really nice day today. So they're sitting in the lounge chairs reading a book. So, there is that you know, relaxation. For bucket two, relationship content. This is where people fall in love with you because people do not just buy products or services. They buy connection, they buy trust, they buy personality. And this is the content I think we skip too often because we assume people only want polished work. And right now, that is not working. Back in the day, just even like 2 or 3 years ago, showing as a photographer your polished work, a polished senior photo or a family photo or a wedding photo, whatever it is that is your niche. And, for other businesses, if you're a florist, showing the arrangement, or if you're, a baker showing the final product of a cake or anything. That used to be what people would stop and look at, but now they want the behind the scenes, they wanna see you. So, just know that people want people, right now. Relationship content can look like your story, lessons you've learned, funny moments, community, personal reflection, business highs and lows, and what matters to you. Maybe it's a little glimpse of your life. Maybe it's your dog. Maybe it's your favorite local coffee shop. Maybe it's talking about something real. You do not have to share your entire life online. Boundaries are beautiful, but personality, it really does matter. People hire people they feel connected to. So now bucket three. This is your offer and, your authority content. So this is the one people avoid because nobody wants to feel salesy. And I get it. I'm the same way. But if you never tell people how you can help them, they may never know. Offer content does not have to be pushy. Think of it as helpful, educational, confidence building. This is your FAQs, your tips, client testimonials or customer testimonials, examples, client education, portfolio work, problem solving. For photographers, you can think of like what to wear, when to book, location tips, yearbook deadlines, behind the scenes education, and client prep. If you think about things that you might watch online, if you love to watch reels or you love to watch TikTok, anything like that, you probably do. You probably are looking, something that I look at all the time are like recipes. So if the people that I'm watching that I love to watch and get their recipes, if they just showed me the food and then didn't tell me how to make it, I'm not gonna follow them anymore. I'm not gonna, they're not giving me what I want. I want to know like, "Hey, how do you make that dip?" Or however, whatever it is. So it's kind of like, say, for photographers, little tips on what to wear for a senior session or that yearbook book deadline. Those are things that you might not think that is super exciting for social media. And that might be something that you talk to your client who's already booked you. But if you want to be known as someone that is really knows what they're doing and knows all the things, put it out on there and, maybe make it a series. Like I just did a yearbook series, um, and it was 5 days and it was really quick little things. So I put out a reel every day. It was less than 30 seconds each reel. So it was just a small tip every day about a yearbook deadline because yearbook deadlines here in the Midwest are pretty big. So I just wanted to make sure that my seniors or any senior or any parent of a senior, especially those who are new to the senior life, that this is their first senior. They're not going to know any of these things. So it's just good to let them know, give them a little tip, and maybe, that's something that they're going to be like, hey, this photographer gave me that information. I am going to look into booking them. Let's pause for something that's totally worth pausing for. If you're juggling a million tools to run your business, let me put you on to something better. I've been using photobiz.com for over 10 years for my website, blog, booking mini sessions, even scheduling podcast guests. I can capture emails and send out newsletters all in one place. And honestly, I haven't even scratched the surface on everything PhotoBiz can do. It's easy, professional, and their customer support is a chef's kiss. And guess what? Just for listeners of The One Behind the Lens, you'll get 25% off your first year with the code POD25. That's POD25. Or by hitting the link in the show notes. When I think about July, I think about a few core themes. You don't need to use all of them, but pick what fits. So think of July theme ideas such as summer life. People are outside. Think of moving, think of traveling, living. Use that energy. So it's also, when you think about it, July, we are in mid-year. So we're already in the mid-year of 2026, which is crazy because I still am like, what year are we in? When I like write a check or anything like that. So July sits right in that middle space. So people are starting to reflect already. They're reevaluating, they're resetting. So even content around goals, fresh starts, lessons learned, second half momentum works really well. Summer naturally brings this feeling. Think of freedom and simplicity. Summer naturally brings this feeling. Think simplifying, slowing down, making life easier, enjoying the season. Also, think community and local. So, this is going to feel very you. So you could think of local businesses, events, partnerships, favorite spots, community stories. People love local content. So if they're in your area and you're sharing some little things that maybe you are excited about for the weekend or something that you already did and it was a local something, people are going to really like that. You can also think about preparing for fall. And yes, this does matter because July is actually pre fall marketing. Senior photographers, this is your reminder that July content helps book the fall. Don't wait until September. Really start pushing that. So you can start talking about like you haven't booked your senior session yet. Um, that fall, again, going back to the yearbook, that yearbook deadline is going to come up. So here's some reels and post ideas. Steal these, use them. That's why, we're here. So for photographers, do like a point of view. I love everybody loves a POV. So point of view, you thought this location wouldn't work. What clients don't see behind this photo? The biggest mistake people make before their session. Come with me while I prep for 3 things I wish clients knew before. And then for business owners that aren't photographers, you can even think of nobody talks about this part of owning a business. Here's what's happened when I stopped doing, or here's what happened when I stopped doing blank. A behind the scenes look at blank. What I do differently. One thing I've learned this summer, and all of these can be used all sorts of ways, and you don't have to like reinvent every week. You could repurpose 3 things. Like I've been repurposing the what your senior photographer wants you to know. I've done that 2 weeks, 2 weeks of content already with that header. And I'm using different things that I think that your senior photographer would want you to know. So don't think that you can't kind of maybe reuse a couple of these a couple of times. For your July email ideas, because I will forever defend email. Social media is a rented space. Email is a relationship space. And if you're stuck, here's some July newsletter ideas. One can be kind of what we talked about before, a mid-year check-in. What's been working? What have you learned? What's ahead? People love reflection. Also, you could talk about your summer favorites, favorite products, music, business tools, coffee, locations, local finds, very easy engagement. And then also behind the scenes, people love to see you work. So, what's happening? What's exciting? People love being included. Also, you could do a booking reminder or offer. You can do this very like gentle, make sure it's like maybe there's a helpful tip in there and then remind them, hey, you can do this. You're not desperate. Just think, hey, here's what's coming. And if email overwhelms you, start small. One email is better than none, always. If you're going to start, small, think of like one email a month. I do an email every single month, and it kind of gives a whole breakdown so people can read the whole thing. I'm talking about my podcast. I'm talking about my life. I'm talking about sessions. I'm talking about bloopers that maybe happened. So I'm catching everyone up in one email. So you could do it that way as well. So, friend, here's the part where I climb onto my little marketing soapbox. You do not need to go viral this July. You do not need perfect branding. You do not need to dance if dancing makes you miserable. You don't have to post every single day. You need visibility, consistency, and connection. That's it. Sometimes we make marketing feel like punishment. But marketing is really storytelling. It is letting people know, hey, I am here. If you have been feeling behind, please hear me. You are not behind. You are building, and building takes time. So if you are somebody that needs help with marketing in the sense of you need to write down, like maybe you're thinking, okay, my social media days are going to be these certain days. And maybe it's going to be 2 times a week or 3 times a week, whatever, or maybe it's 1 time a week. But make it consistent and even make it almost like an educational type thing where if it's going to be every Wednesday, you're going to be dropping some sort of education. And when I'm saying education, it's educating your clients, your customers. So this episode is part of why I've been building something behind the scenes, because I hear the same thing over and over from photographers, creatives, and small business owners. Kate, just tell me what to post. And I get it. So I'm creating something called Marketing Backstage. It's your backstage pass to showing up with confidence. It's monthly marketing support designed for photographers, creatives, and small business owners who want fresh strategy, content ideas, prompts, hooks, templates, and plug and play inspiration delivered every month. When you join, you'll get immediate access to the current month, and then a fresh marketing drop lands on every first of every month. And because this is brand new, I'm opening a founding member price at just $17 a month through July 1st. Founding members lock in that price for life before regular prices begin. So if you've been craving marketing support without feeling overwhelmed all the time, I think you're going to love this. And if you want to check it out, I'll have the link waiting for you in the show notes and over on my website. So friend, thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope this helped you take a deep breath and look at July with a little more confidence and a little less panic. And if this episode helped you, share it with another photographer, creative, or business owner you might need, that they might need a July reset too. And if you build something from today's episode, I want you to tag me. Seriously, I want to cheer you on. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, those follows and reviews help more people find our little Shutter Squad corner of the internet. Until next time, keep showing up, keep creating, and remember, you do not have to market perfectly. You just have to stay visible. I'll see you next time right here behind the lens.